Are the characters in Dark Crystal a continuation of the Muppet concept, or are you working into a whole new area of puppeteering?
Well, the characters are much more alive. We're trying to make them look like actual living, breathing creatures. And this is what took a lot of development time while we were working on this thing. And they're all designed by Brian Froud, who's an English fantasy illustrator. And we gave him the challenge of designing this entire world.
What atmosphere, what ambience did you want the Dark Crystal world to have?
Well, it is another world. It's sort of a mystical, fairly dreamlike kind of a world, I think. And it looks vaguely like fairy tale worlds of the past. There's a castle, a great large evil castle of the Skeksis, who are our bad guys, and Jen, who is our sort of innocent young gelfling that the story is all about. He's raised in the Mystic Valley, which is a lovely valley of rocks and caves.
What rules govern a good fantasy world such as Dark Crystal?
Well, I think the value is you're putting on a world that still relates to our world, and you're still seeing characters going through situations, problems, adventures, and it's a way it's really a way of doing a parallel, which enables us to put our own world slightly more into perspective. And I think that's what all of these things are about.
Do you sort of look upon Dark Crystal as an allegory, almost?
I think there are elements of that, sure.
Mm-hmm. Are you aware of that when you're concocting your story, or are you just creating the story that you yourself are enjoying so much?
Well, it's a little bit of all of that. I think as this story first went together, it certainly pulls on kinds of values and thoughts and philosophies of mine and ours, meaning the group of people who created this thing. This was really not just me, but it was Brian Froud, the designer, Frank Oz, who co-directed with me, Gary Kurtz, who co-produced, David Odell, who did the screenplay. So all of these people have a lot of input into this thing.
Which characters in the film do you yourself play?
Well, I do Jen, who's a gelfling, who's kind of a lead character throughout. And then I also did one of the Skeksis, the ritual master.
What kind of individual does it take to manipulate a puppet? How do you describe the man pulling the strings, as it were?
Well, someone like Frank is so unique, and he has these very unique talents of performance that are absolutely incredible, and it's hard to put those into categories, but he is an actor, and this is really acting at I think it's at its finest, and it's the ability to take this personality, whether it's a stick of wood or a piece of latex foam, and turn it into a personality that you actually believe, that the audience, identifies with and can see going through the thinking process.
Would you say that Dark Crystal was a tiring experience for you, or an exhilarating experience because it took so long?
Both.
It was both.
It was both. Sure, it was very hard work. It was one of the hardest things we've ever done. It's an enormous challenge, and yet probably the most rewarding, and one of the things that I probably am most proud of.